Today, we'll be chatting with some of Ginetta's rising female talent, as well as delving deep into the growing world of female motorsport content creators. After that, we'll hit the track, taking out the Ginetta G56 GTA, and get to experience the talent of these female racing drivers firsthand. In only its first year of racing in 2005, the Ginetta Junior Championship had its first female racing driver amongst its ranks. Since then, an array of talent has come on and gone to compete at the highest level of motorsports. Ginetta has been a keystone organisation in developing these drivers to go on and compete with the best of the best. Your journey into motorsport probably wasn't the traditional journey into it. Can you tell us how it came about?
I went through a difficult time in my life, had my heart broken, went through a divorce, and I thought, right, I'm going to do something for me.
Working in this space for about 2 years now, slowly at first, probably more officially within the last year.
It started off just as bambinos. We thought we'd just test. We didn't want to race because he didn't want to put all this pressure on me to feel like I had to perform. All these kids around me were a lot bigger than me. It was quite scary, and just being told just go. You need to kind of get used to it.
I just like being on camera and sharing and speaking to people and sharing my passion, which I've had since honestly I was born, and sharing it with everyone, especially I guess little girls.
Never saw it as a potential career at all. It was literally just for a hobby, something for me and my parents to do on a weekend. How can we take this to the next level and make the transition from karts into cars? And that's why we found Ginetta Juniors. It's got such an amazing reputation. I mean, you only have to look at the alumni from Ginetta Juniors like Lando Norris, JB Chadwick. So it's the place to be really for young drivers to develop the racecraft and become into a great race driver.
And how different was it being in Ginetta Junior to then stepping it up into the different levels of Ginetta?
I think you learn different things. In juniors, the racecraft, there was, even if you finish 20th or 12th, second, there's battles all the way throughout, which was just great to learn racecraft. But then this year, having pit stops, learning that has been a completely different new curveball. So although it's not on track, it's still vital getting that clean pit stop in the middle of a race.
Sims can be quite difficult, so I know I'm going into it, I'm going to give it the best that I can. Alicia has given me a few little tips and tricks. There's certain corners you can take differently, use the runoff area, don't go too high on the throttle in certain places. So I think I've got the best advice, but we shall see. It's very different when you're in it because you're feeling different emotions when you're actually going around the track.
Left. And then be assertive with the steering, hard right, that's it, and then start picking up throttle now.
Well, yeah, that's the part. It's more so making me nervous for tomorrow in the real thing. Because I already feel slightly nervous about this.
He's getting better and better each lap, or even just each corner. And I don't know if I can do the same, but we're going to try. We've got a proper driver coach here, so I think I'm in good hands.
And then go, go, go. Up to third, then just have a small lift through here. Nice, good control.
Have you ever had an experience where the pressure's got to you, any of you?
There's so much noise around being outside the car. You've got a team behind you, there's 40, 50 people within a team and they're all there, they've all arrived at a race weekend, put so many hours of effort in to make sure that you deliver and do a good result. So you obviously want to make them proud as well as yourselves.
Nearly sick in my helmet. Not nice. Yeah. Turning in early, my times were completely down.
And how's your media motorsport journey been?
Social media isn't taken seriously a lot of the time as it is, and then being a woman in that space is an added challenge. But it's such an exciting space to be a part of. I wouldn't change it.
I mean, I'm seeing role models that are my age because I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah, and there are those challenges from the media side of things and a racing driver. Holly, you've been on the grid where you're the only girl. How does that feel sometimes? Does the pressure get to you or do you feel empowered by that?
Sometimes it can actually be quite fun to think about it. When there's such a stereotype around girls, I think being the only girl on a grid, is actually quite a cool thing to think about, really, because I don't know, it's just different.
And do any of you notice any differences when you're out on track between, you know, male racing drivers and female racing drivers, or is it just down to the person?
As soon as you put a helmet on, you don't know who they are. They could be anybody.
I loved that. That is like such a surreal experience, honestly, and I'm so confident from like the first lap.
Leona's coaching. She can make anyone drive. I felt so comfortable because I didn't really have to think. Obviously by the end I kind of stopped myself, but telling you exactly when to brake, when to shift, when to turn. So like 3 laps in I felt like I could do it myself. So it was just so good.
It's fun. I mean, I was driving very slowly, but I think I was slowly getting used to it.
That was so good. Thank you so much. So good. How's that journey been now? You know, you're a year into it. What have you learned about yourself as a driver?
It's been tough. I'm not going to deny. You've really got to dig deep from your low points, but then the high points are really, really, really high. So I had my first podium at my second race weekend at Silverstone. Just to stand there on that podium knowing that through history these people have been here and I'm here. What am I doing here? You know, I never would have dreamt a year ago I'd be doing something like this.
My main goal is I want to get more into the presenting side of motorsport, so I've done a lot of social media work and content work, but I love just speaking to people with a microphone, whether that's racing drivers, engineers.
Yeah, I'd love to just do more stuff on track because I think as well as a motorsports presenter, being able to at least have some knowledge of the on-track stuff would definitely help too. My technical background isn't as much, I'm more someone that focuses on the historics. Like I love knowing the history of certain drivers, how they've come up.
Making that transition was virtually impossible without a scholarship support, so that was a life-changing moment for me, and I won't be sat here now without that, so I will forever be grateful for Ginetta for giving me that chance.
It's all just learning, both on and off track. There's so many different aspects to motorsport, and it's just keeping calm. You're on your own journey and path. Everyone's different out there, so as long as you enjoy it and get a good result, then you have to be happy with that.
There's always the occasion where a boy doesn't want to be beat by a girl, like a teenage boy. It's what's going to happen. But I find it quite nice being a girl, like especially this year being the only girl on the grid. It's quite nice to have that.
And motorsport is obviously a male-dominated sport, and we're here to break those barriers. But have you ever felt any challenges or pressures, you know, being maybe the only woman in a room at times?
I didn't see the drivers, but I also didn't see anyone else either, so it would be good to change that, and these days they already are.
I find it so interesting because I'm really into the technical side of the sport and try and know a lot about the cars even if I can't drive them. Again, as a girl, it does give you a bit more credibility as well. You shouldn't have to, you know, prove that you've got extensive technical knowledge to be taken seriously.
This event here that we're at is amazing for females in motorsport, and it is unique. Sometimes you are the only woman in the room and you do get a lot of looks, and I have had comments in the past because I'm a female, but you just have to push past that, and at the end of the day you've all got your helmet on, and if you beat the boys out on track, then that's how it is.
There's more of a stigma than there needs to be. People get worried about it, and then you're actually in it and you're like, oh, it's not that bad. It's pretty normal. People will kind of start to get used to it once you're in it.
But I'd love just to become as well a role model for young females looking on, so that they can see when they put TV on that there is that female representation. With yourself as well, not just for drivers in the media aspect and in all other aspects. So yeah, I think I'd just love to say in 10, 20 years to have won a few championships and just be happy as well, still enjoying motorsport.
If I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to prioritise the racing over everything else. It's something I've never done. It's done something solely for me. Absolutely love it. It's changed my life.